A couple of months ago, vivziepop released a lengthy thread on her Twitter, explaining her perspective of Millie and how she will get development in the future, in response to many popular videos expressing their concern for Millie, due to the fact that she gets very little story to herself and doesn't have a character outside of being moxxie's wife. I'm not going to talk about the thread itself, because that's a topic for a future video. But what I want to discuss are the last few tweets that vivziepop made. That being helluva boss has a heavier emphasis on male-led stories, and Hazbin Hotel has a heavier emphasis on women or female-led stories. I want to find out if vivziepop's claim of Hazbin having a heavier emphasis on female-led stories is true or not, because that claim has led me to scratch my head for a long time. So without further ado, let's start discussing. Now, what exactly are female-led stories? Well, they're stories with main characters that are female in them, such as Prey released in 2022 or the Hunger Games movie trilogy. Both movies have a female character who is the main character, and most of the time, the story is told from their perspective. Though, this doesn't exactly mean the male characters don't get any attention or development either. Just because it's a female-led story doesn't mean the other characters can't have development. So where does Hazbin Hotel fall into this? Well, Hazbin Hotel does have a main character that is female, being Charlie Morningstar or just Charlie. Looking at the amount of screen time she has a large amount of it simply because she's the main character. I wonder if the other female characters in Hazbin Hotel have screen time in the double digits. Okay, but let's look at the amount of screen time the male characters have.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell, man. What the fuck, man? I'm just beat your ass.
Why is it that most of the male characters in Hazbin Hotel have more screen time than Vaggie, Nifty, and Cherry Bomb? How in the world does Husk have more scene time than both Cherry Bomb and Nifty? Husk wasn't even in the pilot until the last 3 to 4 minutes in the pilot. Okay, this is just the pilot. Surely Hazbin Hotel would have more female-led stories, like comics or music videos. Let's see if there are any comics or music videos that are canonical to Hazbin Hotel.
What?
I'm sorry, what? How come Alastor and Angel Dust have comics? Better yet, how come Angel Dust has both a music video and a comic dedicated to him? I thought this series was female-led. Did I just get blue-balled? Where is the female-led content? Oh wait, maybe there is a comic centered around Charlie that I wasn't able to find. It was cancelled. vivziepop, I really have to ask. If Hannah Montana Hotel was always female-led, then how come you made a comic about 2 of the male characters? Better yet, how come you made an entire music video and a comic about Angel Dust? I get that he's a fan favorite and all, but isn't Hazbin Hotel supposed to be female-led? That's like if DC made a Catwoman show, but all of the prequel content was centered around Batman and the Joker. You can't tell me that Hazbin Hotel has always been female-led when there's barely any content centering around the female characters and more content centering around the male characters. Why exactly did vivziepop think it was a good idea to give her 2 male characters extra content, but not her female MC? On to the next topic. I was watching He's a Neutral's review on X's and Deuce a while back, and they made a list about the character trivia of each main Hazbin Hotel character. The one with the most trivia is Angel Dust, but the one with the least amount of trivia is Cherry Bomb. What really bothers me is the fact that Serpentious has more trivia than Charlie Morningstar. Seriously? How does a character like Serpentious have more facts and character than the main character? This tweet has to be a joke at this point. How is Hazbin Motel female-led when there's not as many facts or trivia for the women? How come the male characters have more thought put into them than the female ones? On to the next topic. A couple of days ago, an announcement for Hazbin Hotel was released on vivziepop's YouTube channel, simply giving the audience where it's going to stream at and when it is going to release. I rewatched it a couple of times to come to notice that most of its time was dedicated to showing the male characters. And while Charlie was shown, she was the only female character to only be shown multiple times. Vaggie was only shown once, Nifty was only shown once, and Cherry Bomb was not shown at all. Alastor appears in the announcement 4 times. Angel Dust appears in the announcement 4 times. Husk appears in the announcement 3 times. Even the antagonist, Vox, appears in the announcement more than the rest of the female characters, as he appeared twice. Now, this could mean that the female characters will be shown later on, or that the female characters have less amounts of screen time than the male characters, which is why the male characters appeared more in the announcement. But we'll most likely find out once the series releases. I haven't mentioned the other thing that led me to conclude that vivziepop is just making up excuses for herself about Hazbin being female led. The female characters in Hazbin Hotel have less depth than the male characters, but that can be a possible topic for a future video. So, to answer the question, is Hazbin Hotel female led? Yes, but actually no. Hazbin Hotel does have a female main character to which the story centers around, but it doesn't give us anything about said female character, nor does it give us anything about the rest of the female characters. That development and time was instead passed on to the male characters. Am I saying that vivziepop should only develop her female characters? No. Regardless of what kind of story it is, all characters should be developed, no matter what gender. The development should have been shared between the 2 gender groups. The female characters get a certain portion of facts or development, while the male characters get some as well. That way, you wouldn't have to spoil your audience for when the actual show comes out, but leave them interested for what's to come. The trivia word count has a pretty large gap when it comes to the female and male characters. So what I'm trying to say is, Hazbin Hotel does have a female main lead as well as a bunch of female main characters, but the male main characters have more development and time put into them, more so than the MC herself. A few people have shared the same opinion as mine, but I have seen others insisting that Hazbin Hotel will be female led when the show officially releases. That is a decent argument on paper, but when you actually think about it, it raises a couple of holes. When you look at the tweet again, vivziepop said that Hazbin Hotel has always been female led. The keyword is always, meaning since the beginning Hazbin Hotel has been female led, which is simply not true. Hazbin Hotel has been in development for years, meaning that vivziepop had plenty of time to give her female characters the attention they deserve. But she didn't, and this also raises a huge question. Why does the series need to release to be female led? I feel like people are just giving vivziepop excuses at this point. Will Hazbin Hotel be female led once the series fully releases? Who knows, we'll just have to wait and see. But as of now, what I'm trying to say is, Hazbin Hotel does have a female main character. But just like helluva boss, she gets sidelined, so that the male characters can get all the glory and development. I wouldn't be surprised if the male characters in Hazbin Hotel end up getting all of the attention. If you all enjoyed this video, why not give it a like and share it with others? Plenty more videos are on the way. So with that said, I hope you all have a nice day.